Oh, hi. This is my podcast now. I'm going to invite my guest of honor here.
Ooh, I'm an of honor.
Of honor.
Ooh.
Turn towards me fully.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And now you've been graced.
I've been graced of honor. Or is it honor?
Honer.
Honer.
Kind of like boner, but like honer.
I love your honer.
I don't like where this is going anymore. I'm uncomfortable. We're restarting.
Well, before we start,
okay,
I just want to say we've done a few things differently. As you can see, we're a little bit darker. You guys can see we're a little bit darker. I'm going to make a conscious effort of sitting up.
Okay.
And we got some color behind you as well too.
Like that little check your posture thing that you get. It's just like that infinitely. Like the whole chat should be just like check your posture.
I honestly need something like some sort of like pokey. So if I go, hello, I need something.
Well, I think the everything's working against you because the couch is slightly angled. But you were saying like what's
so like we just want to have a new chapter. We want to do a new chapter of this podcast, revitalize this podcast, do some different things with this podcast, and really hone in on what this podcast means, not only for us but also for all of you out there. So with that being said, the first step is kind of changing the ambiance, because before it was very sterile.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You know what I mean? It was very sterile. So this kind of has a little bit more homey attitude. I do want to put something above your head, so there's something instead of just a blank white wall above your head. But the splash of color definitely helps, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else you think that we need, just based off of what you see over there?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been seeing it. Like I sat down and I was like, oh, there's purple lights.
Yeah,
that was it.
Huckled Gaming says whoever came up with this idea is a freaking.
You put the mouse like right in the way.
I did put the mouse right in the way.
Go fix it. Find your controller and fix it. All we can read is
it's a genius. It was a freaking G.
Yep.
Well, you do we have to give credit to the person that came up with the idea?
I don't know. I think we could pass. I think we could just freak.
All right. Well, I guess we'll never know who that freaking G is.
Yeah. It is what it is.
We'll just never know. Yeah.
And you know what? That's okay.
I'm okay with that.
They know what they know, and we know what we know.
Yeah. And what is credit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Why do you do? Are you doing this for credit? Really?
Or cred?
Do it for yourself and just to be a good person, not for the cred of the street.
Or no, G cred.
G cred. Yeah.
Because they're a freaking G, and so it's G cred.
Got it. Yeah.
Moving right along.
So you
was it him?
It was him.
It was him.
Thank you, Huckled. No, seriously, thank you very much, Huckled. This does look a lot better. And also it feels a lot better because although these are LED lights, they do get hot. And when they were really, really bright, they got kind of really hot.
I got a little toasty in here.
And these have been on since I set it up around 3 o'clock our time.
Nice.
And it's now 5, and it's not really that hot.
I mean, it's hot as balls outside.
Yes.
Oh,
and
my word.
There are many balls outside that are just sweaty.
It's
I don't know this for a fact. I'm just kind of on the assumption.
Utah's going through a heat wave.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be what? Like Trip Dig?
I think
is it already Tip Dig?
Don't stop that.
I think it might be Trip Dig.
God, no. Triple digit. Say it with me. Triple digit. Triple digit.
Trip Dig. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Triple.
See, I'm so much faster, so much more efficient, and no one uses it. So no, you're not wrong though. But we've had like 103, 105 before. What was the highest that you had here that like made the news a few years back?
I have no idea. All I know is I remember a time when it was like so hot that I was living with my grandmother at the time many years ago, and she's one of the grandmothers that runs cold.
Oh.
And so it's a week, just like this week, it's like 105, 104, 103, 105. Like, didn't want to run the AC.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even like, she's not stingy or anything.
Sure.
She's just like, I'm comfortable.
Right.
And I'm sitting there just like beads of sweat. I finally went to the store and bought one of those like portable AC units that like hook the hose into your window and stuff. I had to buy one because I'm dying.
That's what we have upstairs.
I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, how? I wish I was like that, But then again, in the winter, I'd be just a popsicle. So
I know. There's always going to be trade-off to that. No, I remember when I was still a market manager on the team while living in California, you were kind of complaining, but also kind of like not proud, but it was like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, this is the hottest it's ever been in like 20 years in Salt Lake. And you screenshotted your iPhone and shared it with us in the team chat. And all of us were very, very surprised. So that was a few years ago. Just this past week, I got a notification on my phone also saying that record highs, blah, 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 that, whatever. But I think whatever they are here, I'm sure it's worse somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
And so to that, I'm just kind of like even in California.
Well, it's you're acclimated to your area, so it's
right.
relative to you. Just because you teleport to another area and you're like, wow, I'm not used to this 120 degree heat.
I guess my point is like, as you know, I try to, through the lens of a wider scale, and not try to be so selfish of this only affects me and this is how I feel. I'm like, okay, well, it does suck that it's really hot here and it's almost impossible to touch the outside of our door.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'm standing outside his house. The door's radiating heat onto me.
But someplace in California, or even someplace here in Utah, has no AC whatsoever. I mean, we have a swamp cooler, and it's barely getting down the staircase over here. You know, Aurelia's running...
considered a series of fans.
Series of fans. I kind of want to do like a TikTok of like, the Flight of Valkyrie, and just like, dun, like go down the steps, just like, dun, 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 dun. Just and it just gets like 1, 2, 4. How are you getting all these fans on these steps?
Where are these coming from?
Like, how are you not blowing up views?
I think you have to do this now.
Yeah,
you should totally.
Unfortunately, I've put this into like motion. Yeah.
You've done it?
No. I put this into motion. Like now it has to happen.
Yeah. So now you got to go get like 8 box fans.
All right. Well, excuse me while I go blow my credit card, I guess.
You can get some cheap ones.
Then I should just return them. Yeah. And we'll do it.
You want to keep a couple for the actual efficiency of getting air down here.
Fine, yeah, but we'll just return them to Walmart because they don't
go
care.
full ghetto, and get like pipe, like the piping that they use for like AC ducts and stuff like that.
Oh, the PVC pipe? Oh no, like the
like
aluminum pipe. Yeah.
And then run a tube all the way down here,
and just have it right here, just blowing up at me.
Yeah, you're sitting there just like this, just flapping in the wind.
Or I could have the tube go through my shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's connected to my shirt.
Excuse you.
But then it follows me everywhere I go.
Excuse you. You would not put it in your shirt. If you want to be the coolest, you put it up your pant leg.
Oh, okay.
Because then you get like the full effect.
Yeah.
You get the full body. You get the full body.
You see that one guy on TikTok? He's a 3D printer. Okay. And he 3D prints all these like gadgets. You're like, that's really dumb. Oh, that's really useful. He 3D printed this gadget that would adhere to the front of like your car air vent.
Okay.
And then it's a hose, and then you put it in your shorts to
cool yourself down. That's a choice,
right? But it's a choice, and it's like I don't know if I would do this, like, in all honesty. Like, if you were to be in the car with me, like, I'd probably hide it and put it away.
Yeah, I could see, like, a use of, like, oh, you want to put a hose to, like, your people in the back because you don't have vents in the back.
Right, but this is specifically for your other people.
Nope.
Your other... Your family. Your non-visible people.
One of the family.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll have to talk with Aurelia about the fan idea because I overheard. She said, "Yeah, we have to do that now." Oh God.
Days like this is very much like I'll try to like, unless I'm going to like a pool or something, I'll try to like go to Starbucks or something, hang out inside. Starbucks has great AC. Great AC.
Some do. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Starbucks, though. Have a story to tell you.
Ooh, Starbucks time.
So
we need a Starbucks story like Stinger. Starbucks story time.
Yeah, it's used like one.
What happened? Oh God. Sorry. We're dying. Before you start,
yeah.
Hi R3, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. Go on.
Sorry, I had to finish my slow wave.
Okay.
You want to do it with me?
Okay.
All right. 1 and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and we're at the bottom.
Oh, we're at the bottom.
You were a little slow.
Oh, see, because I was doing 4/4 time. You were doing like a 3/3, like 3/3 time. You're doing a waltz, and I was like, okay, I don't know why we're waltzing. I'm doing 4/4 standard rock beat.
1-1.
Only music nerds get that joke. Hopefully, I don't know. So you're saying yes. Starbucks time.
Usually at Starbucks, especially like midweek, you'll see a lot of people come in and do like interviews and stuff, like job interviews, right?
At Starbucks?
At Starbucks. Like
Not for Starbucks, though.
Sometimes. But both is really the answer.
Okay.
It's a little column A, little column B. But this time, it was 3 people interviewing 1 person.
Okay.
And they're right next to me. So I usually listen in because honestly, I'm like, kind of like, 1, you chose a public place, so I'm not going to feel bad.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not talking about anything like private. And then also, like, 2, I try to glean anything I can from like the interviews of like interesting interview questions, like how did they answer, and I kind of like will gauge like how they're doing in my head and stuff.
Right. Hold, please. I want to lower the mic.
Okay. Are we blowing it out slightly?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, and this time though, it was an MLM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, MLM or network marketing is a multi-level marketing. We'll say company for right now.
Yeah.
We'll say company.
That's kind.
Yeah, but it's a multi-level marketing opportunity is what they would probably say. But go on with your story.
I'm listening to them, and they're just far enough away where I'm not catching every single word. I never found out the name of the company at all.
Point of order?
Yeah.
They usually won't tell you.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy was very interesting because the interviewer interviewee was kind of aware that it was an MLM, and he's like, hey, my friends are telling me that you guys are very akin to, like, I think it's Amway is another one.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he's like, they're talking about this mentorship, and he's like, there's a lot of red flags. You had me read the, what's the book? It's like the mouse that gets the cheese thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They had him read this book, and they're like, do you identify as like one of these characters?
I read that same book.
Yeah. And I'm okay. I have questions as to why you read that same book, but,
so I have to use this to keep the TV on so we can look at the chat. I apologize. I've been interrupting. I apologize.
You're fine. No, but I'm listening to all this. They're going through things, and here's the thing: is I'm on my computer, and so I'm looking up like the things that he's talking about. Of like, here's what they said. They said to read this book. Yeah. I look up the book. Red flag. They said we're doing a mentorship at a company. Red flag. And like everything they're saying to him, I'm like Googling, and it's like red flag.
Yeah.
And so finally, I'm just laughing at this point because it is so like blatant, and the guy, the interviewee, is aware of this and kind of like teetering on leaving. And like they're trying to be like, hey, we're not forcing you, the non-pressure, right? And so I'm like, I decide I'm just gonna have fun. So I pull up a stock image of the word "run" in red, and I turn my computer.
Oh my god, Quinnton! Holy balls, dude!
I was like, you know what?
Balls on this guy?
I was like, you know what? Run. This is so obviously an MLM. It's painful.
Yeah.
I never found out what company it was. Okay. And maybe they didn't even mention it. It could have been that way. But yeah. So I'm sitting there. He finally like says, it's not for me. I'm like, hallelujah. He leaves. And
I'm surprised you didn't, when he said it's not for me, I'm surprised you didn't go like, finally! Like really God!
About damn time!
What took you so long, bro?
So he leaves, and the 3 interviewers that stuck around, they start like just popping off on each, like kind of like that vicious cycle, but like kind of just.
Are they blaming each other?
No. Like like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like
Feedback?
that self-contained bubble, like the self-feedback thing of
Yeah,
like,
where it's
feedback
all, loop.
Yeah, where it's all just like
echo chamber.
Echo chamber.
Echo
That's
chamber.
it.
Yeah.
They start doing this echo chamber about their company and just like, oh, isn't this so great? Yeah.
Yep.
And one of them I can tell is fairly new to the company.
Okay.
And like he's saying like, yeah, I'm so happy I cut these people out of my life. They weren't pushing themselves, and I need winners in my life. Yep. And I'm like, this is getting irritating. Like, because they're just like,
I want to I want to circle back to this, but go on.
Yeah,
go on with this story.
I'm just getting sick of it.
Yeah.
So finally,
so do you move, or are you still like ear hustling these people?
I said something.
Oh shit!
Who
are you, and where is Quinnton? I've never known you to actually speak up.
I finally I was packing up, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I just walked over and told him like, hey, y'all should know you are in an MLM. And the guy immediately responds with, no, we're making a ton of money. Thank you. No, it was like, thank you, but we're making a ton of money. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if you do a small amount of research of what red flags are on an MLM,
sure,
that you might be genuinely making a ton of money, you probably are ruining someone's life.
Yes, possibly.
And you should, I'm not like, I told him, I was like, I don't even have any what do I get for telling you this?
Right.
Like, I don't even know you.
You gain nothing.
Yeah. And the guy's like, and the guy immediately is like, well, I'm Ken. I don't know what his name was. I didn't pay attention. What's your name? I'm like,
he tried it.
And I was like, no.
He tried to prospect.
You can call me buddy. And I'm like, no. That's not happening.
Okay.
And I was like, just do some research. Yeah. I have no reason to tell you this. Yeah. There's no advantage to me. I'm not trying to pull you down. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to do anything. Do your research on your own. Look up red flags. You will see everything you listed off is a red flag. Do your research. And I just leave. And you can see the smirk on their face of like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like,
yeah, totally.
So my question was originally going to be to you of like, how do you tell someone they're in an MLM? But it sounds like you've got experience with this.
Very much so.
Tell me more.
I have about 7 years of MLM experience. I was an executive training director in 2 MLMs and an executive director in one, and a executive team trainer in another.
Wow.
It was for it wasn't for a product company. It was for a service company. So we sold, at the time, home phone service.
Okay.
And discounted rates for gas and electricity.
Okay.
And then we expanded beyond that to, you'll laugh at this, video phones.
Oh.
And and then eventually we partnered with a large telco to offer mobile devices.
Okay.
So for me, everything that you were saying is 100% by the book. Why they read that book is to get them in the mindset to have that kind of self-realization of, hey, I really love my friends, but they are broke and they only talk about broke things, and I'm trying to not elevate. No, not even be a winner. But I'm trying to get out of that mindset, and I don't want to be surrounded. I mean, you've heard it before. Don't surround yourself with negative people. It's kind of the same idea. So don't surround yourself with broke people. Don't take advice from broke people if they're working a 9 to 5. When you see these guys on Shark Tank and these other entrepreneurial shows, like, yeah, I built the business, and this is potentially big underlined red letter, big asterisks, all of it, potentially a legitimate business. It could be. So for me, that's the line that I walked.
Right.
Not everyone does. And I was wondering how certain people in my organization that started after I did were getting promoted a lot quicker than I was.
Okay.
And essentially, not to draw this out, it came down to not what you know, but it's who you know.
Oh, great.
And it definitely was we'll call him Chad. That seems to be the name.
Chad and Ken.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm choosing these alpha names, and I'm sorry if your name is Chad, but that's the name I'm choosing today. So Chad over here started a month after me. Go, yes, sir.
Real quick, can we change the name to Thud?
So Thud joined the company after me, about a month after me, and I was the one who trained him. And I was, he looked up to me, and I was his mentor. And then next thing you know, he's up there on stage in front of 300 people, giving a presentation on how well he was able to rise up the ranks and going from a 9-to-5 job, working, end to end, burning the candle at both ends, and all those other metaphors that we use. And now the money works for him instead of the other way around. And I'm like, what the hell? I trained you. Like, I should be up there. Like, what is going on? And I come to find out that at least in my organization, if you get buddy with the guy up there, he's just going to put new people underneath you. And when they get, what do we call it? When they get when they get certified or something like that, he gets the commission for certifying them, even though he may or may not have did all the work.
Interesting.
But if you're up there, you can't have one leg of your organization be heavy. Right. You need all of your legs to be pretty much even keel.
Right.
And so that's what they were doing. They were looking out for their best interest. But as you were saying earlier, you might be ruining somebody else's life. It wasn't ruining my life because I was making really good money at the time.
For sure.
$20,000 a month. It was nice. It was nice for 6 months. It was very, very nice. And I spent it on really, 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 really dumb things. But it was nice. But it's not sustainable. And it made me a dick. It made me a terrible, terrible person. And like you were saying, I get rid of my friends because they're not winners. That's how I looked at my friends. And I realized, okay, yes, I might have negative people around me, but I can compartmentalize and I can figure out hey, some people are going to be negative for this reason or that reason, or some people are going to be broke. They're always going to be broke. Doesn't mean I have to stop hanging out with them.
Yeah.
What I will say is, yes, stop taking advice from people that don't know what that is. You don't take medical advice from someone that just looked it up on the internet.
Yeah.
So don't take financial advice from someone who is kind of in the red. So, or whatever the case is.
Or even just isn't a professional, especially if it's high level.
Hey,
how do I
build
out my
portfolio?
Retirement.
I mean,
is the word I was looking for. That's the word of the day.
Quinnton and I went hard, and when I say hard, I think I mean $100. But we went hard in crypto for a month or two, and
80.
Yeah.
Dollars, not 80,000.
Yeah, not 80,000 dollars. Ooh.
Yeah.
So that was our version of going hard at the time, but we were giving each other advice and this and that. But almost every conversation ended with, "But you do you."
Yep.
Don't take my This is just what I would do.
I saw this on a forum or
right.
something. Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing that I could say is I saw this on a TikTok, but it seemed to work from all the people that I saw in the comments. But I also don't know if they're plants or paid to lead those comments.
Our gambling bet was
very low.
$80.
Yeah,
because it's just but this will be fun.
Yeah, but at the time the return was oh, I should have put more. But that's gambling for you.
Yeah,
that's the crypto market. That's the any market.
Yep.
So back to the whole thing. How do you tell someone that they're in a
how did
an
you
MLM?
realize?
I mean, I knew.
Oh,
it wasn't a hidden secret. We leaned into the idea that this is an MLM. And what people have a problem with is that they connect it to what's called a Ponzi scheme, and they connect it to this pyramid scheme idea where the only person really making the money is the person at the top. And then we would kind of obfuscate that by saying, well, think of your existing job right now. You're at the bottom. Who makes all the money in your job? It's the person at the top. And you get the mindset of the person that's somewhat vulnerable in the hot seat when they're doing the interview. They'll go, oh, you're right. I am scrubbing the toilets. I am doing all the spreadsheets. I am doing all the reports. Right. And all this other guy is doing is barking orders. But what we don't say is there's also someone above them doing the exact same thing. So in this capitalistic world, there's always going to be
a bigger fish.
A bigger fish, right. But at least with an MLM, it kind of gives you an idea of what it is to be a boss because you can delegate. because if you run your organization correctly, you can delegate when the trainings are going to be, how to train. I mean, if not 80%, 90% of a lot of who I am when I'm on camera for training came from MLMs.
So what would you tell, like if you were in my scenario, what would you have told them?
Well, kind of what you said. Do your research. Because if it's like doTERRA or like Amway, Mary Kay, these are MLMs, but they're like very, like from what I've been told, very good product-driven MLMs. The products are good. Like they're not giving people cancer, from what I've been told. You know, they're not like run by guys that just don't care about any kind of health issues or anything like that that could be spawned from the products. Like they're decent products. So like Amway, I think Aurelia even mentioned there was like a protein bar or something that she did like from Amway. Is that correct, honey?
Excess and the protein bars.
Yeah, she get 2 thumbs up for the excess and protein bars from Amway. So those are good products. Now, does that mean that she has to turn around and go and sell those products because you might as well sell the product if you like it that much? No, but when it came to like my parents or other friends that were just very negative about network marketing, I will say to them kind of what I would say to you who is joining a network marketing company. You do your research about your company that you're potentially about to join. And then the naysayers, you do your research. Stop going off of what you've seen, all the negative, like, oh, it's terrible, I lost all this money. Did you do any work? No? Okay. Well, just because you bought a really cool binder and you got all the business cards that they overcharge you way too much to get the company logo on, none of those make you money. It's the hard work, the prospecting, the thing that guy tried to do with you. You're a number in a numbers game. And almost like anything else in life, if it just takes hounding, and it can get to be kind of a meme in itself, but the person that was able to sling Red Bull for the first year of their life, look at them now. Like, you know, going door to door. Do you want to buy this energy drink? No. You want to buy this energy drink? No. What about now? No. And then finally they got the big fish, whatever it was, and now Red Bull all the things. And that's kind of like the dream of a network marketer is I'm going to get past the naysayers. I'm not going to let them bring me down, but I do have to be cognizant not only of my time, but also of the company as a whole. You cannot be blind to what this company is. Like if the company is an offshoot of Enron, for those of you that are too young, go look that up. But if they're an offshoot of Enron, maybe you don't work for this company. If the company somehow has ties to North Korea, same thing. or even worse, they're an American company. If you live here in the United States, they're an American company and they promise you the moon. And then after you give them the money, they're nowhere to be seen. That's the worst. That's not a network marketing company. That's an outright scam. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm like, I get the initial knee-jerk reaction to be against it, and I would have loved to be there, right there with you. Not to tell you to tone down or anything, because I think everything that you did, I probably would have done it to a small degree, or maybe even coached them. But I do find it fascinating, hindsight, to see a prospect and also to see people that are just 100% in it. When I was in this one company, this guy got his car wrapped with the logo of the company.
Ew.
6 months later, the company went under.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, and so we
Did
all
it peel off. I hope.
I mean, it's a wrap, so yeah. Like,
well, I mean, some like back in the day, some of them.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, so they did that, but you know what doesn't peel off? A tattoo.
No,
tattoo doesn't peel off. So a friend of mine got his team name because we all had team names,
right?
So he had his like professional business name that he filed with the state of Illinois at the time. So he got that, his team name, the level that he reached at the time, and then like the overarching like regional name, which was called Rebellion. And it's all right here.
Eesh.
Guess what he does now? And it's I wouldn't even say what he does because it doesn't really matter. But he doesn't do that.
Like not even close.
It's not even close. Go ahead, sweetheart. It's not even close. But what I can say is if someone ever says, hey, what is Rebellion? What is that? As long as he has a good perspective of what that time meant for him, I think it's a great topic. It's like, oh, this is when I was in a network marketing company. And whether he calls it a scam or whatever, that's up to him. But if you can look back at that time and hopefully glean some really good positive outcomes from it, like I don't think I would have the job I have right now without those experiences. I would be very proud. Now, however, going back to your point, because there's a lot of people that get scammed out of their money, and there are a lot of people within the company that don't care, and they will just kind of go off and run and just make the commission from signing you up and getting you qualified and never speak to you again. I fucking hate those people, and they should not be in any company for that matter. I hope they learned the lesson. But that doesn't necessarily reflect 100% of network marketing companies. I think John Oliver, are you familiar with?
I know who that is,
Yeah, he did a great piece on network marketing companies, and he just slams into a bunch of them. I think Amway was one of them. But he, at the end of it, he's like, guys, like kind of like what I'm saying. Do your research, and then people that are just automatically like, yeah, see, John agrees with me. These are all scams. Like, no. Like, I did my research. You should do your own as well, too. Because every network marketing company is going to offer something different. Like, do you remember back in the early 2000s, P90X, that workout DVD? That's a network marketing company.
Really?
Yeah. I joined that for about a year.
Like as a customer or as an employee?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I joined it as a customer, and I paid whatever that like subscription cost was for the initial like Team Beachbody like package.
Right.
But then I joined as a marketer / franchiser that would effectively be boots on the ground. Hey, I'm doing this, and look at me, Quinnton. You should do this with me. Like, just do it with me. I'm not telling you to buy it. Just do some yoga with me like once a day. Let's just come hang out. You just do this with me. And maybe one day I convince you to just do something. Kind of similar to you convince me to do the hike. I convince you to do some
sign
sort
up.
Yeah, not even sign up. Just do the workout video with me.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Just the taste. The first taste is free. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like as we move on, then it's like, well, you know what? Like, I love having you come over, but it's eaten up into your time. Why don't you just get it? And like, here's my promo code, kind of like an affiliate code, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really what it comes down to. And like now, I don't know. Like, I think if one of my friends or one of my families joined it, I think I would just let them go do it. If
like an MLM of any kind?
Yeah, just go do it. Like, depending on what it is, I may or may not like directly support you. Like if it's like, yeah, we'll give you unlimited cashew bars for a year. I'm like, I don't need cashew bars. That's a weird thing.
That's great.
Yeah,
no.
I don't need unlimited. I'll take one, I guess, right?
It sounds good right now, but
like if you can genuinely save me money on like whatever it is, and it's genuine and like there's no like it has to go through Mexico all the way down through the whatever canal and all the way back up. If there's nothing like that, like underhanded, I am totally down to save money if it's like something I can just sign on the dotted line and it supports you as well too.
Right.
But if it is very much like, hey, so what is it that you're doing? I don't really know. That's a problem. Kind of like what you were saying. If they were like a little shifty on the name and stuff like that. And that's the reason why we don't tell names. When I did those trainings at Starbucks, I did it at Starbucks, so I can't meet you at my office. I'm in between, going between my offices right now. That's why I did it at Starbucks. Worked every time.
For 7 years.
Well, we got an office, and then so like
No. You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You were between offices for multiple years. At a time.
Yeah, we would do the initial meet and greet between offices at Starbucks, and then some years we had an actual office in a very prominent area called Walnut Creek, kind of akin to Lehigh Valley, if you will, like very tech and fin central and whatnot. And then some years we didn't, so we just were like, we'll just go back to Starbucks, or like, let's just hang out. Like, we can work from home. That's the beauty of this job. We can do what we want.
Right.
But then the funny thing is like after a month of me signing you up, then you start to see what we really do, and you're like, wait a minute. So this is what you say to everybody, but you really don't have a personal office. Like, no, but you're here.
And so now you get to use the lie too.
So there was definitely a little bit of deception, even on my part. But like, when it came to that line, it was kind of like, well, like, this is your chance. You still have a chance to bail out. It's up to you. We've shown you the other side of the pasture. We've shown you the grass is greener over here, and we're rolling in the green, so to speak. Whereas you can just forget about it, and we'll just tear up the check or whatever.
It's very like Matrixy, red pill, blue pill kind of thing.
Because of my morals, I was like my first initial thought, because I was trying to be an alpha, peacocking, slick bro dude that would show up in $700 shoes, $3,000 Rolex, and all this other stuff, and just be like, if you want this lifestyle, don't look at my car. But if you want this lifestyle, because I didn't upgrade my car, but if you want this lifestyle, you come with me. But then, like, you tear off tear off the suit or whatever, and then I was like, all right, so look, there was a little bit of an affront. We share this watch, actually. It's not my watch.
Oh my word! No, stop.
No, that was a joke. It was my watch, but no, there were definitely things where we had plants. We had people like you that would sit in a booth farther beyond and just kind of walk by and just be like, "Oh, I've heard of such and such a company. That's a great company," and then just like leave. And it worked every time. And so this kind of psychological warfare of selling, like, it is very much extremely frowned upon for a good reason. Like, I feel bad saying it, but at the time, as a 21-year-old, I didn't give a fuck because I just made $3,000 from this interaction, and I was a very selfish and like I did not care. Hey, OMJ, what a fantastic capture.
Oh,
yes, it is stuck on repeat. We're trying to figure out. Oh, thank you so much for the gifted sub, James. I appreciate that.
Yay.
Also, I don't know if you're the one that I tagged on Twitter. If you are the same person that I tagged on Twitter, thank you again. That was the easiest place I could find to like thank you, like publicly, because you haven't yet joined the Discord. If you want to, you can join the Discord. That was you. Awesome. But yeah. You never mentioned the company name. That's what this all culminated to. You never mentioned the company name before, like, completely closing, because you can do research. And what happens when you research Tony Enterprise scam? You're gonna get all the answers that you've ever wanted.
Right.
You can type Verizon wireless scam. You'll get a bunch of them. But like a company that you're not quite sure about, you're going to get the exact article that you need to point to me to say, look, you guys are a scam. And then I'll say, well, we're part of the Better Business Bureau. We got this, we've got that, which we were. We're part of the, like in the legitimate world, this is going to give it away. And this is before the dark times. This is before the dark times. And if you're a fan of this individual, I apologize for my tone. This is before the dark times, but Donald Trump endorsed us. So at the time, it was one of those, how could we be a scam?
Looking back, it's like,
Right, but it was like one of those things. Like, he endorses us. Robert
Hathaway.
No, Kiyosaki?
I don't know. I don't even know who you could say a name.
Anyways, there was another very prominent, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. He endorsed another MLM. And then there was another, like Warren Buffett endorsed another MLM. So all these like mega giants that just make money just by like breathing were endorsing MLMs. So all of us were like, how would you ever talk down an MLM when you got these guys that had to go through the suck to get to the empire that they have now?
Right.
Maybe not so much Donald Trump, but like they had to go through it to get to their position, and they're endorsing our company, or at least a company similar to ours. MLMs are not scams. That's not 100% true, obviously, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, do your research on both sides of it. And if you're in an MLM and you're doing these tactics to try to obfuscate what your company does, and you're trying to be coy, and you're trying to be, whatever, it's not funny. It doesn't land. You seem shisty. You seem like you're trying to be Walter White in Breaking Bad. Like you're not cool.
So I'm guessing in those scenarios, if somebody asked you just straight up, what's the company name, you would deflect?
Our company name was Bay Marketing. BEA. Bay Marketing.
Okay.
Now this was before the whole meme of "Hey Bay," like was before that.
Right.
So Bay Marketing stood for Bay Area Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Marketing.
But the question is like you're talking about the situation where someone knows that now and goes look up Bay Marketing scam and goes, there it is.
Yeah. So they come back to me and they say, "Look, you guys are a scam." And the arsenal that I had against that was, well, first off, what is that article? I mean, kind of like what we do right now. It's like we're like with any kind of like.
You question it. You
question
want, okay,
it. Like, where's that article from? Like, I found it on a blog that's hosted on MySpace. Like, okay, that's not an article.
That's a red flag for the blog itself.
Right, exactly. But if it's coming from like an arguably third party, non-partisan, non-biased, like, hey, this is just the facts.
Right.
Then you might actually even like get me to like question. But no one ever came to the table with that information, because at the time, and maybe this is the problem that we have now, there was very little nonpartisan information for and against my company. Anytime you looked it up, it was either the extreme of this is a terrible company or this is a wonderful company. There was very little in between. And if I could give a review of the company, they're fine. I mean, they do what they want. They do what they're doing. They're providing the service, what they promised to provide. It does kind of come down to your like franchise organization if you're going to work within those boundaries. And if you like tiptoe outside those boundaries just to help yourself out and fuck the little guy, then you're a terrible person. And I hope you don't succeed. Yeah, you shouldn't do that, period. And so for me, the reason why I quit was because of that, because I saw all of these people just getting promoted, and I'm like, they're not doing any work. I'm doing all this work, and what the hell?
Right.
It was very, very frustrating, and it's not like you can get transferred to a different organization. I have to stick with that organization or completely build a brand new one, and that's tough.
I'm going to imagine that's another tactic, is locking you in.
Yeah.
The proverbial like golden handcuffs kind of thing.
It's kind of like I mean, not that this ever came about, but if I had a sit down conversation with our leader of our organization, it would come down to, where are you going to go? Because what you have to, I'm not going to let you keep your organization. You can't just move. So if you, some network marketing companies do let you take your whole downline and move to a different leg. But this particular one didn't.
Right.
So where are you going to go? And B, if you go somewhere else, you can't do it in your name, because I have your name. I have your social, not have, but like my organization under yours is under your social. So you'd have to create an EIN or something else.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. So this whole like, you want to go through all that?
Yeah, that's
No.
I would describe that as almost like a scam because it locks you in. It's the golden handcuffs of like, look, they're gold. It's just bracelets. It's just it's fantastic.
Yeah. And again, like, but here's the thing, like to the credit of the company, I don't know if that was a company policy or his policy. And I was too young and dumb to say, oh, maybe they're two different policies. But I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was not what I was expecting at all.
So what would you say?
Just what I did. Of
just what
like,
you did?
Do your research.
Okay.
Like, hey, these are red flags. Like a 2-second Google search tells you these are red flags.
Okay. Can I do a role play with you?
I hate role plays, but
I love
can
it.
Try it.
Yeah. Get your phone. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Oh, I sent you to voicemail. Sorry.
Oh, God damn it. Hate you right now. Ring, ring.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Quinnton. How's it going, man? Remember, you don't know I'm calling you about anything.
I'm doing great. I hate role plays so much. Keep going.
Hey, so I know you mentioned that bills have been kind of tight lately, and we wanted to go do this thing, and we're more than happy to pay for you because we want you to be there. But I kind of came across something that has been helping me, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everyone, but it's been helping me out. It doesn't take a lot of time. I can still do my day job. I can still play Destiny with you. But it's something that it's just been kind of adding some like fluid income to my monthly like my monthly income. And I was like, you know what? Quinnton's one of my best friends, and it would be rude of me not to at least tell you or at least give you some more information about it. So yeah, that's why I'm calling. Do you want to know more about this?
Sounds like an MLM.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Like right out of the gate?
Well, no. I'm still in the role play. That is how I would respond.
It is?
That is straight up how I would respond. I have learned.
Do you think that's
I've lived in Utah long enough. We have too many LMMs.
This is an issue with Utah. I can't do this role play with a Utah native because they've heard this conversation way too many times.
I haven't even heard this conversation. I just know of the conversation.
Yeah, and so that's basically the script where I'm coming to you as a friend. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but it's something that I said over and over and over. And like, dude, it's been how many years since I've been in an MLM? And I still remember the script like the back of my fucking hand. And it's both kind of like, oh, check me out. And also like, ooh, like both kind of like, It's like a grimy kind of feeling. James says, it's the mystery of it. If a money making opportunity is mysterious, then it sounds like an MLM. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things you hear from your parents. If it's too good to be true,
it probably
is. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, right? There's always going to be an exception to the rule. But those exceptions are so rare. They're so rare.
Now, when
Cypher in the chat here on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTony. Cypher says, nah, never. So if I called Cypher, he would hang up on me. I even had a friend of mine from high school basically chew me out over the phone. He's like, don't ever call me about this bullshit pyramid scheme that you're trying to get me involved in. And I was like, oh, no, bro. Like, I didn't know how to, like, respond because that was not on the script. that was not on the role play.
I have a story to tell you. I actually found it. So a long time ago, my sister texts me and she says, hey, I've got a friend who is like getting into selling like makeup or something. I told her Maddie might be interested. Can I give her your Maddie's contact info? I was like, give her my contact info. And she's like, okay, why? And I was like, she's in an MLM and I'm going to let her know. Give me your give her my contact info.
How long ago was this?
2019.
Okay, so like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I can do math real quickly right now. That's surprising. But
what
did you say?
So they responded, it's so and so with Mary Kay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
nicer one.
Yeah, it's a nicer one.
Yeah, but
they if you earn it, you get a Cadillac. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh my God, Cypher, dude. What the heck? Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that.
nicely. I like the little snake.
There's a snake involved. Yeah. Thank you very much. I hope all the interstitials are coming up on screen. If they're not, I apologize. But Cypher, thank you very much for all those gifted subs, my friend.
I'll be the interstitial. This is the interstitial.
I appreciate that. These are all the pop-up windows that would normally come up.
Oh, the pop-up window would blink. There we go.
Oh, no, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Oh, he knocked it out of my hand. He broke your interstitial. I hope you know that. It's his fault.
I have a pop-up window blocker now.
Okay, side note right there. Just real fast.
Oh,
did you ever see
you
ever see the commercial that's like my phone is theft deterrent? It's my all-time favorite commercial. I don't even remember who it was for.
I think I have
seen
it.
Yeah. My phone does this, and the guy's just sitting there just like, yeah. This. Well, my phone has theft deterrent. Well, what's that? Well, try to steal my phone. And he goes to steal it, and he just throws his phone at him. Yeah. The guy's like, oh my gosh! Picks it up and throws it again.
I feel like that's a perfect Super Bowl commertal. Like
I bet it was.
Yeah,
honestly.
I feel like I've seen.
I could not tell you what it was for.
I very rarely see commercials, so that would be like a perfect. Like that would be one of those commercials that would go viral, and like people would reshow it.
But yeah, so anyway, got a text from her finally, and she says, "Hey, it's so and so with Mary Kay. Okay, so we've been doing skincare presentation. We're going to do a skincare presentation with anti-aging, basic skincare supplements, and giving away a bunch of prizes. I do my beauty experiences Monday nights and Saturday mornings at my office in Sandy. Do any of those times work for you?" And I responded. I said, "Hey there, just giving you these links to help. Please just take a moment and read them. And remember, there is nothing I get from giving this info to you. I just want you to have this." And I send her like 3 different links of like MLM video, MLM infographic, MLM like warning signs, like just link. Never responded.
Okay. I wonder what I would have done if you did that to me, because nobody gave me nobody reached out to at least try to educate me. They just shot me down.
Yeah, they just said your friend. He said F you, go away.
They just shot me down. So if someone were to now as a 39-year-old, I would say, well, thank you. I will read up on this and get back to you later. And I don't know if I would ever follow up with that, but I know the younger me would be like, oh, this guy's drinking the Kool-Aid, but the other Kool-Aid. Like, I'm drinking my Kool-Aid, you're drinking your Kool-Aid, you fascist, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever I would say to make me feel better about myself. But yeah, I think Mary Kay as a company,
well, we don't need to worry about that. I don't really care about Mary Kay.
So
I'm just more on that's how I handle that situation.
So what was this individual trying to possibly recruit Maddie, or just get a party going? Because if it was a party, I'm all for parties. Because you as the host, you get an extra discount, and there's you don't drink wine. There's wine. There's Aurelia over there. But there's things you could do at the party, it's kind of a hangout, and you invite your girlfriend and your boyfriends and your other friends, whatever,
to make a lot of money.
But you as the host don't necessarily make any money. You just you host it, and you potentially get a discount if you buy anything, and you would get a free gift, probably very little, but you get a free gift for a thank you for hosting. Now, sometimes the person will extend the presentation to say, well, if you like what I'm doing, and you see yourself doing what I'm doing, talk to me afterwards, because I can talk to you about what I'm doing. I think,
because many years ago, right? But I think what you're saying is kind of ringing a bell of she was trying to get my sister in on it.
Okay.
For Maddie, she was just doing the party thing, but she was also trying to get my sister to buy into it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
But how old was your sister?
2019, so she would have been 19.
Okay, she's an adult. Why would, like, did you tell your sister no, or did you let her make her own decision?
Let her make her own decision, but
Okay.
after I told her also, like, hey, just FYI, this is how that system works, and how, like, what you'd be in for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's usually like, looked down upon. It's usually frowned upon. It works for some people, but only it works for some people by burning a lot of others.
I remember this one, and this is we'll end it on this.
Okay.
I remember this one presentator. That's not how you say it. I remember this one presenter that was on stage at one of our international conventions, and this was in Detroit, Michigan.
Fancy.
And there were like 20,000 members from around the world at this one convention center / arena, whatever. And he was on stage, and he was definitely one of the more revered people. He had stage presence. He had the audience. He had the rebellion. That was one of his groups. And he recounted a story of going to like a Red Lobster or whatever, and he brought a ton of people, all in suits, 3-piece suits, all looking, all to the nines and everything,
right.
The way that I normally look to you. And the hostess or the waiter, like, afterwards was like, what do you guys do? Like, because you're all dressed great and you're not worried about the check. Like, nobody asked me how much this or that is. Like, this is Red Lobster. We get questions like that a lot, and none of you flinched when I said it was going to be this much because the catch of the day was caught literally today. You're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And at the end of his speech, he said, here's my card. You have no idea who you met. You are having the luckiest day of your life. I'm out. And like left, and the crowd just went crazy. And in the moment,
so you had the proverbial and everyone clapped.
Yeah, well, in the moment, you get 20,000 people in the seats, like standing up on the seats too, and just like hitting those like thunderclap sticks and everything, and just like this is what the life that I want. I want to be able to go to anywhere, and people are like, what do you do? I'm like, you have no idea how lucky you are to meet me. That was my mentality. That's not how I am now, but that was how I was like turn of 20 years old, because I'm nobody. And I want to be somebody. I'm looking for an identity, and that's the problem with network marketing companies, is that they thrive off of that.
Right.
They thrive off of the fact that you have a lot of like young kids that don't know what they want to do, and they think that they have to be a part of something that is just greater than they are. And for some, they can, and they can do it morally, but most can't, and most will go to the dark side, if you will, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And
I'd imagine they encourage the dark side. So
as a company, no, but behind closed doors, yes. Hey folks, thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you like that, we have part 2 coming up in a couple of weeks as well too. So stay tuned and make sure you're following us on all the socials, including TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to follow us individually, you can find Quinnton under Firewall and me under Lazy Tech Tony. And also we do this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTV, and the video and VOD goes to our YouTube channel. So please consider subscribing over there as well. Until the next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Later.
Hi.